back. There's always something. Um, Happy Halloween, everybody. I was going to try and have a kind of a more Halloween. I just thought to myself, geez, you've no pumpkins or any kind of a thing at all. Um, so I'm going to try and get Facebook going at the same time. Lord God, we'll see how it goes. Done. So there we go. We're on live at the same time. It was, yes, I had an idea that for Halloween it was going to be great. I was going to, I was saying to myself, God, I've not a pumpkin or a bit of decoration or anything like that going on. So I should try and get some more of a kind of a spooky feel going to it and stuff like that. Hiya, Mary. How's it going? And so I said, where it'd be perfect? Over in the greenhouse. Hiya, James. How are you keeping? Over in the greenhouse, it would be perfect. But myself and Grover went over. Grover is here. She's, can you make her out or not? So we flew over to the greenhouse. We had the tea ready. We were going to get set up. Hiya, Pat. How are you keeping? And the rain, you couldn't hear anything. It was absolutely torrential. It just sounded crazy. Do you know what it was like? It was like Little House in the Prairie. When the storm is coming in, it's like, Pa, we gotta get the horses in. And I was flying around the place, and Grover wasn't too sure was she supposed to stay in the greenhouse or come back with me. And I was like, Grover! So we're back, and we're down at the other end of number 7 of the home, so of my home. And so I'm just trying to get it a bit more. Trying to get the light. Yeah, that's it now. Sure, Jesus, we have the tea and we have the light and everything going, which is much better. But it was ridiculous earlier on. It's a bad night. Hi, Antoinette. It's so lovely. It's great to be here. And these evenings, what I liked with the yarn from the barn, which is the tome from the home now, I suppose. It's just to be a bit more relaxed and to talk about the week. We have. Is it down here? You can feel it's not as bad down here. It's a bit more sheltery, but it's... Hi, Elizabeth. How's it going? I was just saying I was all set because I realised I'd nothing really scary. I should have a pumpkin at least, or a spider, or some sort of a vampire or something. And I said, it would be nice over in the greenhouse if we did it there. But the rain and the wind over in the greenhouse, I think I'd be shouting. I'd be just like, "Rawr!" trying to be heard. So I said, you know what? I'd come over here, and we're down in the bedroom now. We're now down in the West Wing. And it's nice and quiet down here. So it's much better. You don't want to see the cup of tea going on. So, Halloween. Halloween was very strange growing up. Well, it was great growing up because we didn't have any trick-or-treating, and nobody really did back then. Hiya, Pat. And but we always had a Halloween party. We had lots of Halloween parties, and it was really great. And we'd have games. And my dad, there's a great photo somewhere of my dad in drag. He got dressed up, and he would just love the whole idea of the games and everything. And we would play Snap Apple. And I don't know if you know, it's the idea of you have a string hanging down from the ceiling, and there's an apple hanging off it, and you have to try with your hands behind your back trying to get a bite of the apple. And of course this would be all great, but you'd be watching Dad, and he'd have like a big rusty 6-inch nail that he'd like plunge into the apple. So you wouldn't know. Hi, Victoria. You weren't too sure, did you want to win and get a bite of the apple and the nail at the same time? But it was always I think that's why, I'm very I'm not really able to tell a scary story. And I think because I was never really afraid of Halloween. It was always a fun time, and remembering our ancestors. And I wouldn't find my ancestors scary at all. I would find them comforting, you know. And my dad as well. My dad passed on the 3rd of November. And so it's that time of year. And again, after the grieving and stuff, it's funny actually. I was cleaning up the old house above yesterday and the day before. And how will she it now? And well, now isn't that great? They're gone missing now again. Whatever they're gone. Oh, I have my dad. I got found my dad's rosary beads, and it's a nice time of year to find them, and to think of him again. And I think they've been in my pocket now for the last 2 days. And it's kind of comforting, as I say, because, you know, that's what Halloween was all about. It's that the end of the Celtic year, time to take stock over your year, to look back and to welcome the darkness. Do you know, I think that's, you know, I do suffer from depression, and the more I get able to welcome it almost, or to say, oh, look, here's the dark time of the year. I am going to be, you know, a little bit more down. I have to be careful of myself. I have to watch what I'm thinking and how I'm thinking it, and really understand what I'm going through if I'm going through something. And that's it. So often we're pushed not to think like that. Good morning. Hi, good evening, Antoinette. Lovely to see Marguerite. Lovely to see you. And so it is very nice to just take that time, that darkness, welcome the darkness. The evenings are going to be longer now. I think the mornings are brighter. I can never figure out new time and old time and the hour forward and the hour back. But it will be, it would be interesting to see what would happen if we didn't change the time. I suppose the mornings would be very dark, but it's more in the evening time now. But again, it's all trying to get them to get the animals through. This is what the winter is all about, trying to make sure all the animals survive. And the hay is coming next week now. I have to get ready for that, build a little place for it. So I suppose it's about time for a little Halloween story. And this story is all about a lad called Stingy Jack. And Jack was an absolute terrible person. He was insulting, he was a bully, he was stealing from people, he would make people feel very small. And that's right, Bridget, I will keep them with me, and they do feel really nice, just to hold them every so often. And oh yes, so Jack was very stingy, very horrible guy, just really a bully, stealing from people, not very nice. He had a PhD in being horrible. Nobody liked him. And word got out anyway about this fella and how horrible and what a bully he was. And he mightn't talk to you one day, and if he talked to you the next day, you'd be better off if he hadn't talked to you. That kind of way. And it went on anyway. And everybody heard about this fella. And it came down that the devil himself heard about this Jack, that he was so horrible. And the devil said, I'll have to meet this Jack. But thanks, Noreen. How's it going? And Noreen is a fellow snapapple, or my sister there. And so the devil made his way up anyway. And he went in disguise as a stranger, and he met Jack. And he said, come on away to the pub, we'll have a drink. And they were chatting away. Jack was telling him all the horrible things he had done. And everything, and all the horrible things he'd said, and how people didn't like him. And he was very proud of that. And geez, the devil was lapping it up. He said, this fella will keep the hell bright and burning for another while. Sorry there, Crawford. Oh no, that's... And it was going great anyway. And the devil said, you know, Jack, I'm the devil, and I'm going to take you down to hell with me, because you're a fierce crack and you're such a horrible person. It'll be great to have you down in hell. Jack wasn't too pleased with this now, and he said, oh yeah, well, I'll go with you, yeah. And he said, we better pay for the drink now. And he said, Do you know what'd be great? Do you know what'd be some crack? If you turned yourself into a coin and I paid with the drink, with the coin, and then you turned back again. And the devil said, oh, I don't know about that now, because you would have to release me from the coin. And Jack said, sure, what helmet on. He was acting kind of drunk as well. And he said, not at all. Sure, I will release you. We'll head away down to hell and we'll have great crack below. So the devil didn't think any more of it. And he turned himself into the coin. And instead of paying the money, Jack put the coin into his pocket. And he said, now, I won't release you until you promise to give me another 10 years of my life. And the devil had no choice. And he said, look, all right, I'll give you another 10 years, but I'll come for you then and you'll come away down to hell with me. And Jack said, no problem at all. And do you think Jack repented? Not at all. 'Tis worse he got. And he got more horrible, and he was doing horrible things to people, and he was insulting them left, right and centre and going on. And he said, he went on for the 10 years anyway, and the devil came along. And Jack said, look, could you give me one small request? Oh, the devil said, find out anything at all you want and I'll take you away down. Hiya, Nora. It is, and it's a Saturday night, so it's nice to be in out of the weather as well. And so Jack said, all I want is an apple from that tree over there. And the devil hopped up and he was going to get the apple, and Jack said, no, 'tis the top one I want, you see, over there. And the devil had to climb up in a branch and another branch. And while the devil was up, didn't Jack go over and he carved 4 crosses around the bark of the tree and the trunk of the tree, and the devil couldn't get down off the tree. And Jack said, there's the only way now is if I make a diamond out of those, you'll be able to get down all right, but you'll have to give me another 10 years. God, the devil was very fed up with him altogether. He said, right, I'll give you another 10 years, but then I'm taking you away with me. And that was all right. And he came down and he had another 10 years. And Jack called the devil back and he said, no, I don't want 10 years. I don't want to go to hell at all. And the devil said, right, look, I'm sick of you. You're not getting into hell. So Jack lived his life and he was horrible to everybody and he was really insulting and nobody liked him and he enjoyed nobody liking him, and he went on and he went on in this way and he wouldn't get on with anybody. He was just so disagreeable. And eventually the poor man, he died. And of course the devil said, there's no way he's coming into hell. I've made a signature now, he can stay out of here. And that was all right. And he went up to St. Peter at the pearly gates, and St. Peter said, where do you think you're going? You've been one of the most horriblest, cheating, bully, horrible person. There's no way you're getting in here. You belong into hell. But Jack said, but sure, they won't let me into hell. And Peter said, that's not my problem. Go down and check with the devil again. So he went back down to the devil, and the Jack there, I don't know, did Maureen come true or not? But then, so he was wandering, or he couldn't get back into hell, and the devil said, you know something, you're a good old crack and we had a bit of history now. And he threw him out an ember, and Jack was trying to hold the ember out from hell, and he got a turnip and he carved out the middle and he threw the ember inside just to say hello and click in for Halloween. So that's it. All the goats are good. All the loving is still going on. We've one more week of it. It is a stressful time, but they're all good. They're like, Jessie doesn't want to be away from the others. It's amazing. She doesn't like being in the smaller herd. And I'd say she's a big fish in a small pond now. And but we've one more week and we'll all be back together.